Hello, the purpose of this video is to define for you a bit more about technical writing and help you really understand what it means to do technical writing. What is this thing called technical writing? Because it is not writing essays. It's not the type of writing that you've probably been doing in most of your other English classes, and maybe even in your other college classes you may not have been exposed to technical writing yet. So I'm going to give you definitions by several different places, and then I'll give you kind of an overview of how I would define it as well. So the first definition says technical writing transfers information about a situation, product, service, or concept by written, oral, or visual means to audiences of varying levels of technical knowledge so that each member of the audience clearly understands the message. So technical writing transfers information, utilitarian or occupational, employing appropriate vocabularies and styles. It's related to the workplace. It seeks to produce action and reaction in or for a clearly defined audience. It seeks to approach a single meaning. It is practical writing done in response to a request, invitation, or need for a specific named audience. It has optimal readability and special packaging. So just kind of a side note, that means that you do not use traditional APA, MLA type of fonts or formats for most technical writing. There'll be sort of special ways you'll format each particular type of writing that you do. It uses effective language to encourage productive relationships between technologies and their users, and it presents information within the world of work for a specific audience, purpose, and application. And that particular definition came from Cal Poly Tech's definition for technical writing, which is a course that college teaches quite often. Second definition comes from Penn State, and they're defining it as technical professionals are often required to define or describe a technical object, concept, or process to someone who has little knowledge or experience with it. For example, an engineering firm might write a proposal to bid on a contract to develop a helicopter for the Defense Department. One section of the proposal would be a detailed description of the product the company proposes to develop. Technical descriptions are used before products and processes. Technical descriptions are used before products and processes are developed as part of proposals and planning documents, during development, in progress reports, for instance, and afterwards as part of marketing and promotional literature and technical support documents. And definition number 3 comes from the Society of Technical Communication. And just side note, when you hear technical communication, technical writing, that actually means the same thing. So technical communication is technical writing. And it says technical communication is a broad field and includes any form of communication that exhibits one or more of the following characteristics: communicating about technical or specialized topics, such as computer applications, medical procedures, or environmental regulations; communicating by using technology, such as web pages, help files, or social media sites; or providing instructions about how to do something, regardless of how technical the task is, or even if technology is used to create or distribute that communication. So you will see that those are 3 different definitions, but really what they break down to is that technical writing is always about communication within some sort of career or workplace environment, and it could be inter or it could be intra, meaning that it might be communications that are happening within employees within the company. Say a memo gets sent out to the entire company about something, and it was sent out by, say, a manager, or an email gets sent out to the entire company. So that's within the company. So it's communication that's happening within a business. Then there's also communication between companies, so from one company to another company. And then there's communication from companies to consumers or customers, however you kind of want to think of that group. And so all these different aspects of technical communication often require some form of either written, oral, or visual, literal communication, right? You got to be able to get the information to them in some way, and often that happens multiple ways. Sometimes it only happens in one particular type. So depending on the type of careers you're going into, the actual technical writing components may be very different. Now, one of the things that these definitions that I'd given you do not cover, but technical writing also does cover, is it also covers job search type technical writing pieces, such as writing cover letters, resumes. How do you do that? How can you do that and make sure you stand out from the crowd? So it's not just communicating once you're in the work, it can also be communicating about trying to get hired or get a job or get a promotion as well. And so this idea of technical writing, it really encompasses a lot of different types of writing. Some are really simple, such as say an email or text message. Simple doesn't mean easy, by the way. It just means simple. There's less there, less writing involved. Or they can be much more detailed, such as like a manual or a proposal. For instance, a business proposal is a very long, lengthy document. And so there's all kinds of different types of technical writing, and we'll be doing a variety of those types in this class. As far as kind of other things to just consider when you're thinking about technical writing, is it really could be labeled as any type of writing that you're doing at work. It's a really simplistic definition, but that it really any type I can think of writing is going to fall into that category, as well as things like creating videos, websites, social media. Any of those pieces, it's going to kind of fall under the ruling of technical writing or technical communication. So technical communication covers a whole lot, but it is also what I feel probably one of the most useful types of writing to really become accustomed to and comfortable with, because pretty much any job out there, you're at least going to have to write in order to get the job, much less what you'll be doing once you're in the job. Even if you're doing something that's very hands-on, like welding or auto mechanics, you're going to have to be able to write service reports. You're going to have to be able to verbally summarize different tasks or communicate problems and solutions. And so it doesn't matter the type of work you're going into, this is sort of a type of writing that can actually be really applicable and useful to your future career paths. And that's really kind of the whole piece of what technical writing is about. It's about really giving you the tools to be able to do the type of writing that's going to be necessary in the workplace. So with that being said, one of your tasks after completing sort of the different activities is going to be kind of writing your own definition, and you can use all of the definitions as well as mine in concluding yours, but you're going to be putting it into your own words. So just make sure that when you are doing that task at the end of this section, that you do not directly copy or plagiarize, in other words, directly any of the definitions. You really want to rephrase it under your own voice, own explanation for this piece. So let me know if you have any questions.